sometimes we date the same thing, everything over and over, so we have to break those patterns and cycles, synchronicities, and go back home.
Yeah. So, can you actually say what love language is? Can you actually describe it, or is it something that is personal between people?
Love language. So I like to say, when it comes to love language, when it's pertaining to a person like yourself or self-love, it depends on what you love, like what is important to you. A lot of people will find out love is not things. Like, I think everybody's expression of love is different. And actually, love itself has nothing to do with things. It has nothing to do with, control, possession, or, just trying to make people be yours or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. But I think the lack of love, which is fear, in place where love should be, causes us to act out of certain things and call it love. So a lot of times I'll have people come to me and say, well, he does this, and well, he really loves me, or she does this, but she really loves me. And I was like, well, you have to realize that, revisit where your love is with yourself. Do you feel like everybody's taking from you? Do you give a lot? You may be a giver, and the giver is a beautiful thing, but you may be an overgiver that doesn't know how to give within balance. And so whenever I teach and talk about love, I speak about love in the space of being able to be open to give and receive love within balance. Meaning something that you love, I may hate. You know what I mean? So I have to find out, one, being respectful, and also being able to honor what offends you and what doesn't offend you. So those are different ways of me showing that my love, I'm respecting the love language of how you like to be loved. So it's not about I want to be loved and how I want to. It's like you have to understand, hey, I like flowers. Hey, I like electronics. I'm going to buy you flowers because I like flowers and I love flowers. I'm going to just give you flowers. But I don't really like flowers. And now I'm mad because you don't really like flowers and I bought you a gift and you don't appreciate my gift because I love flowers and he don't, so it's just like we have these like weird conversations and arguments for no reason. And people just have to understand that love is different for everybody, but we're all trying to achieve the same thing, to feel like we have a place where we belong and we're accepted. And all that stuff has to start from within, because you'll greet that same energy. When the energy is not in alignment, you won't be so broken by it, because it's nothing that was broken, because they didn't take anything from you, because it was already in place. So it's just like, it's more of a journey of now, my heart goes out for that person, and I will send mercy and blessings to that person, because that's where they are in their journey. So how they feel and where they are doesn't really affect me, because that's their opinion and how they feel about love. So I have to live out my love journey. So everybody needs to find out their love language and their love journey and what makes you happy, because you'll be chasing yourself in circles trying to live love and find love through somebody and things.
I always say that, the saying where it says, we're not perfect, nobody's perfect. I don't prescribe to that. I always say, everybody's perfect. We're just not perfect for everybody. Right.
You have to find out the energies that actually are what I call complementary reflections. You have, in my book, The Sacred, Sexy, Sensual Spirit, I talk about complementary reflections and non-complementary reflections. You may have somebody that gets on your nerves. You don't even know why this person gets on your nerves, but it might be something that's a reflection of you that you just don't want to deal with. So you're like, I don't like people like that, or I can't stand it, but really it's something that's inside of you. And then you may have somebody that, oh my God, you're an Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius, you like this, I like this, and we just hit it off. And then later we find out, oh my God, this person get on my nerves. You know what I mean? So you have different aspects of a person. When you meet energies, you are crossing energies with a reflection of yourself, and some part of a familiar spirit within that energy, within that person resonates and draws you to each other. You're like, hey, we're going to create a project. Hey, we're going to date. Hey, we're going to go out and be friends or whatever. Or be business partners, whatever it is, why you connect with people, but you have to understand that the connection is also a connection that's within you. So if you like it now and you hate it later, that means that shadow work that the universal spirit God is saying, hey, you need to work on this area, because the reason why you don't like Steve is because you act just like Steve sometimes like this. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times we pick people apart, but really we just, when we do this, they talk about all the other things that are pointing towards us. Right, so it's just really us seeing ourselves and other people. And if it's, you know, they say be around people that are mentors, the people that are light energies that you would like to aspire to, and that actually have the things going on that you want to have going on in your life. Different people to manifest with. It's the same way. You know what I mean? You're around a non-complimentary reflection, and they're always doing something. Well, you have to pass that test by doing the spiritual work and getting out of that space of energy if it's making you unhappy or unfruitful, unproductive, whatever it is, and move yourself into a position to where now you can find out that influence, I can cut that off, and now I can do things that I like to do. I can actually entertain the energies that I like, and actually now that I'm doing that, the universe will send me more people and more energies that are in that on that frequency. Right. But you have to do the work, and sometimes you just can't cut people off, but you know, let people know I'm gonna be over here, because you know we really can't. We don't vibe like that. Right. And sometimes you have to get people that I'm not gonna say anything and just disappear energy, because they're just combative and chaos. Yeah. And you don't have to explain yourself to protect your energy.
Right. Because your energy comes first. Your health comes first.
Right. That's your well-being. You know, my peace of mind is a bag.
And it's not like you don't care about the person, or you know that you have any vitriol for a person. Sometimes people, you just gotta love people from a distance.
Right. And that's a lot of times I have, you know, people come to me, clients, and they're, well, it's my family, and how do I do this? It's my mother, or I can't just get away from my sister or my brother. And it's just like, yeah, you can. You really can. You can deal with them from a healthy space. You can try the approach of communication is key. I believe in communication. However, whenever you're not able to communicate with people, you make your statement and let it be known if they're in a space to receive it. If not, you just, let people get the gist by saying you move differently. Like when they say switch up, make your next move your best move, change positions and be in position to not receive bullshit. Like cut bullshit off. And whenever bullshit comes, like have a guard up, like have a backbone, have a fortress in place to be able to protect your energy. So otherwise you'll be always drained.
Right, that's right. So how do you feel about today's time and today's generation, the youth and how and their outlook on things and all that? What is your stance with that perspective?
Well, it's you have to take a deep breath, that's what I really feel like this new generation needs. And our generation, because we're at the forefront now, and we're actually the elders now, our generation. Right. So you have a combination of what I see is a bunch of babies on top of babies, so to speak. Like we're babies in our own right. However, it's so much has happened that it's pushed us to the forefront to be the pioneers for a lot of stuff that we have supposed to have been already initiating. Like we should have already had a lot of this stuff in place. And so now a lot of the older elders have passed down and their mantles have fallen on us, and now we're at the forefront of, hey, some of us are ready, let's get it together, and we're in position and we're frustrated maybe a little bit with ourselves and others. And then some of us are just completely running away from the work and being distracted. So right now the youth is